What's going on, beer tubers? Eric back at you with yet another beer review. Today I'm looking at something that Rich just actually put up on YouTube this morning and reviewed, and that is a Minnesota beer on Monday, filmed in Minnesota. This is the newest series in the Surly bottle release, which is Pentagram. This is the second time they've released it annually. I've pre-poured some out just because I wanted to get some initial impressions. You know, when you don't drink a beer very often, like your favorite staples in your fridge, you kind of forget what things smell like and taste like, and if it was really good as the last time you had it. So, yeah, look at this. This pre-pours out, well, and I just poured a little bit more in, but a really murky, I don't know, it kind of looks like plum date, you know, juice, if you will. It's really kind of dark with some red hues coming off the side, but looks good in the glass. Let's get the nose. Yeah, big red wine barrel character. Wow. Tannic vinous notes from, you know, just that. Smells like inside of a wine barrel. There's some funkiness present from the Brettanomyces C and B strains that they use in this beer. I should add that a Claussenii at 6.66% alcohol by volume. And I guess that's pretty cool, but whatever. Yeah, it smells funky. There are some dark cherry notes, some plums, some of those dark fruits. But I'm getting a really strong vanilla and caramel note. Caramel maybe being from the malt bill, which I want to say is, yeah, Dark Munich, Belgian crystal, chocolate, and 2-row pale. Can definitely get some of that malt complexity. Kind of adds to some tobacco-y notes, to some like leather. There's hints of chocolate, I guess. Yeah, really deep down. When you really inhale and get past all the tart and all the funky and all the cherry, there's that rich chocolate note. But yeah, this smells really good. I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard people say it's just as sour as last year. I've heard people say it's not sour at all. So let's get into it and see what the verdict really is. Big tannic. Tannic, wow. Lots of red wine notes. Kind of think like a Merlot, like a watered down Merlot. Some of that dry character coming through. And everything I pretty much said in the nose translates to the taste. I wouldn't call it sour. I would call it more of a tart and funky beer. Sour is a little aggressive and advantageous when describing this beer. This beer is definitely tart. Sour, when I think of sour, I think of, you know, Drie Fonteinen, Lambics, and Gouze, and Cantillon, and some of the Russian River traditional actual wild sour ales. This is more of just a Brettanomyces ale. I don't get any lactic acidity. I don't get any sharp acidic notes. But yeah, dark, funky, I'll go with that. You know, sour, that's a stretch. So, but it is about as sour as anything that's coming out of Minnesota right now in mass production. But let's go ahead and describe this taste a little bit more, and we'll finish up. Yeah, really dry. Cherry notes, like dark wine-soaked cherries, kind of like port almost. Tannic oak, big vanilla notes, a lot of caramel. Malt complexity is really shining through, and I think that's actually overpowering some of that funkiness and tartness. It lets you know it's there, but it's a little underwhelming, and that could come from a developed palate. That could stem from a lot of things. I don't think it speaks to the quality of the beer. I think Surly does a bang-up job. But my opinion has changed in a year. Maybe the beer hasn't so much, but to me, this is just not as good as I remember it. And I always bring price into everything. This is clocking in at a $20 bomber, so a little pricey on the $7.50. Granted, you do get 750 milliliters versus a 22-ounce bottle, but yeah, let me just take one more swirl, and I'll let you know my rating. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I'd much prefer some of their other wild offerings, which the only one that I've really had a lot of was Misanthrope, which is Cynic aged in white wine barrels with similar style Brett strains. Just much better, in my opinion. The malt is too dominant here. It's not really tart enough to cover up all that malt character that's coming through. It's like a beer that doesn't know where it wants to go. It can't decide if it wants to be a sour, dark, funky ale, or if it wants to be a nice brown. I don't even know how you describe it, but yeah, this is a little bit of a letdown this year, and I'm a little bummed that I spent $20 on a bottle. But with that said, final score on Surly Brewing's Pentagram 2014 vintage, I'm going to go with a solid 86 out of 100. And I'm dropping my score nearly 10 points from last year, I believe. So, there's a lot of factors why. We can chat down in the comments below. Let me know what you think if you've had Pentagram, if you've had this year's Pentagram. Am I off course here? Or, yeah, just let me know what you guys think. We'll see you in the next beer review. Definitely. Cheers.